welcome to the FNB Women's Super League Highlight Show. My name is Emmanuel Nkara, and I'm alone. Unfortunately, Lydiana and Brenda have academic responsibilities that they have to take on, but our call for new co-hosts is still running. Please go to Mass TV on all social media platforms. You can be here talking all things women's football. But let us get to the weekend's games. Round 14 played on Saturday this past weekend. Here are the results on your screen. Mighty Gunners FC defeated 1-0 by FC Ongos. Big game there, big implications at the top of the table. We'll get into it after the highlights. Windhoek City drawing 1-1 against Jelinho Athletic, and Nast versus Unam Bokis, the institutional derby. Unam taking it 2-0. We have the highlights for those three games. Then V Power Angels drawing 1-1 versus Arrows Ladies. Desert Foxes losing 3-0 against African Stars. Yvonne Hange getting an assist and a goal in that game. And then a very exciting game between Komas Nampo and Mighty Angels. Komas Nampo, Amukoto, woman of the match, 2 goals in that game. Martha Hausiku getting 2 assists for for Komas Nampo. And then for Mighty Angels, shout out to Albertina Pietres for getting 2 assists as well. So those are the results for Saturday. But now let's get into the highlights of the 3 games that we did have for round 14. And those were the highlights for the 3 games. So Windhoek City versus Jelinho Athletic, a 1-1 draw. Vada Mona Lisa scoring a penalty for Windhoek City, and Asteria Angula getting that 1 goal for Jelinho. And then the institutional derby, the university derby between Nast Babes and Unam Bokis. Unam Bokis took it 2-0. Hanavi scoring from a corner. She scored from a throw-in her previous game. She seemed to be doing everything on her own, but directly scoring from a corner is very, very tough. So Hanavi, congratulations to you. And Tangi Mulundu scoring the other goal for Unam Bokis. Then we go to the big game. There was big implications in this game versus Mighty Gunners versus FC Ongos. Whoever wins was going to take the top of the table. And that call was fallen onto Yvonne Kuiper. She got the lone goal in this game to separate these 2 teams. The champions have been defeated by the former champions. And yeah, well done to a very consistent, her ninth goal of the season. We had an interview with her. Go have a look at it on Mass TV. But well done to Yvonne Cooper for getting all 3 points for FC Ongos. We also had the words of the head coach of FC Ongos, Coach Shama Gure. Here's what he had to say.
Look, we knew what was at stake. We had everything to gain and very little to lose, while Mighty Gunners had more to lose than to gain. So going into this one, I think the nerves were quite high. I was not phased because I think the very first encounter, we had quite a few opportunities to convert, which we failed. A missed penalty by Emma, but that's water under the bridge. Coming into this one, I had a bit of a challenge with five key players missing due to injuries and unavailability, but we knew what we had to do, and the approach was never going to change. We had 3 points on the table. We needed to utilize our opportunities, and we did that not as best as we would have wanted to, but the one was good at the end of the day. No, I think coming into the locker room, it was direct. We knew Gunners were going to come and not lay back. We knew that we had to absorb the pressure, and that was the strategic approach that we used. Tactically, we knew that we have pace going forward. We needed to hit them on the counter and transition. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I think tired legs, a little worn out. We were not really sharp at connecting the passes and making it count when it mattered the most. We really pushing for everything there is to grab. We are not going to be complacent about anything. This is where it matters. The pressure is now on us. I'm not changing anything. I'm only working on the weaknesses and the loopholes that we observed from this game going into the next game. And make no mistake, I would not want to undermine any opposition. A bad day can cost you a lot, and I'm not looking to have any bad days.
And those were the words of Coach Shama Ngure. He says that it's not a Manchester City versus Arsenal dynamic, but it still might be a shootout between FC Ongos and NDF Mighty Gunners at the top of the table. So those were the games for the Saturday round 14. After the break, we look at the games on Sunday. Stay tuned.
It is finally here, a way to save together. FNB WeSave account allows families, friends, and communities to save together using the FNB app, cell phone banking, online banking, or ATM deposit.
We are saving for my education. I want to study at the best university.
FNB WeSave allows 3 to 90 people to save together towards a goal.
Yes, Shiri. We are saving to prepare our homestead for our children and our grandchildren.
Everyone is able to see when a deposit or withdrawal is made and how much.
No, this year there is a big wedding coming and all of us are going to contribute to our WeSave account.
It is simple, secure, and transparent.
Our friend is retiring and we want to celebrate her and give her something special. I made my contribution at the ATM.
Different dreams, different ways to deposit, the best way to save together. Open your FNB WeSave account at an FNB branch today and experience an easier and quicker way to reach your goals together.
Welcome back to the FNB Women's Super League highlight show presented by Mass TV. So those are the games on Saturday. Let's get into the games on Sunday, round 15. The results are on your screen. And let us start with Komas Nampol defeating African Stars 3-2. These two teams know each other very well. It was a very good game. One of the best games of the season, I must say. 3-2 goes to Nampo. Then the big upset of the season. V-Power Angels defeating Unam Bokis 2-0. Absolutely brilliant from the Angels. We have highlights for that game. Nas Babes defeated by Arrows Ladies 2-1. We have highlights for that game as well. And then Windhoek City were defeated 5-0 by the team at the top of the table, FC Ongos. Yvonne Quirpert, we talked about her already. She got 1 goal and 2 assists in this game, player of the match. And then I do want to also send a shout out to the goalkeeper, Zoleka, the new signee for FC Ongos. She has just come in from South Africa and she has 6 clean sheets, which means she has not conceded a goal in her first 6 games since coming into this league. So absolutely brilliant there. Mighty Gunners defeated Jolinho Athletic 4-0. Lina Alwendu, she wasn't there for the game against FC Ongos. She came back into this game. She scored 2 goals and got 2 assists. Lina Alwendu, absolutely brilliant. And then the last game saw Desert Foxes losing 3-1 to Mighty Angels. So, a lot of results there. But now let us get into the highlights of the 3 games that we do have. Here they go. And those are the highlights of the 3 games. Let's talk about the first game there. Nast Babes versus Arrows Ladies. An evening game, if you can call it that. Arrows Ladies had the domination of possession. Kanene had so many opportunities. She missed 2 sitters and a penalty. So it was still 0-0 at the time. But then Hope Silo Sava, the 15-year-old wonder kid, scored or opened the scoring for Arrows Ladies. And then Kanene finally got her goal. Nas came back at the last minute of the game to get a consolation goal, but it was too little, too late. Arrows get the 3 points. Then we move on to Komas Nampo versus African Stars. Perhaps the first 45 minutes was the best 45 minutes of the campaign that I have personally watched. A back and forth. African Stars actually scored first. And then Arrows, or apologies, Kumas Nampo were really gunning to equalize. They got to 3-1. And then African Stars came back to score in the last moments to actually try and get their third goal. But still, Kumas Nampo leave with all 3 points. Amakoto got player of the game as well. She got a goal and an assist. So shout out to her. And then the upset of the season. V-Power Angels defeating Yunnan Bokis 2-0. Absolutely brilliant. My voice went off during that game. Jeremiah, I must shout out to Jeremiah. She got a goal on Saturday's game. She got a goal on Sunday's game as well. She scored first. It was almost like a surprise goal. Yunnan Bokis were trying to attack. And then at the last moment of the game, Nancy Labang, the superstar, made it 2-0. So absolutely brilliant from the Angels. Now we are going to hear from the head coach of V-Power Angels, Coach Risto. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, we know that it's not going to be easy. Yeah, and for us, this is a big achievement because it's the first time that we are beating UNAM in 3 seasons. To be honest, in 3 seasons, that's the first time we are beating them. Usually we play in their home ground, but this is our home ground now. We master this field. So we had a plan whereby we need to isolate to close down their key player, Hanavi. So, and we did that right. Yeah. Yeah, to me, I can't say we were the better team. Yeah, I think it was a 50-50. Yeah, but we just make it difficult for them because they like possession. So we were working more on transition. Yeah, second balls. That's why we decided to play long balls, make our forwards to run and make their defense to work. That's why we end up now forcing the defenders to make mistakes and we capitalize on that. Yeah, no, see, going in this game, it's all about survival. We missed crucial 3 points yesterday. We managed only to get one, but today it was all about survival. If we miss this chance, then the red, yeah, it will be closer to us. So, and we don't want to find ourselves in that what situation. We have the quality, so you show it how we execute it. Yeah, so.
And those were the words, the humble but very happy words of Coach Risto of V-Power Angels. So those were the results, the talking points, and the highlights of round 14 and 15 of the FNB Women's Super League. And stay tuned after the break. We've got more.
It is finally here, a way to save together. FNB WeSave account allows families, friends, and communities to save together using the FNB app, cell phone banking, online banking, or ATM deposit.
We are saving for my education. I want to study at the best university.
FNB WeSave allows 3 to 90 people to save together towards a goal.
Yes, Shiri, we are saving to prepare our homestead for our children and our grandchildren.
Everyone is able to see when a deposit or withdrawal is made and how much.
No, this year there is a big wedding coming and all of us are going to contribute to our WeSave account.
It is simple, secure, and transparent.
Our friend is retiring and we want to celebrate her and give her something special. I made my contribution at the ATM.
Different dreams, different ways to deposit, the best way to save together. Open your FNB WeSave account at an FNB branch today and experience an easier and quicker way to reach your goals together.
Welcome back to the show. So, this is what it's all about, the FNB Women's Super League title. This is the log table. Now, it's changed a bit since our last show, and the biggest change is at the top of the table. FC Ongos have leapfrogged the NDF Mighty Gunners ladies team. They are separating themselves by 1 point, and it's essentially going to be a shootout of results between those two teams as we go to the end portion of the season. Yunnan Bokis were supposed to get that 3 points, or they were favorites to get that 3 points against V-Power Angels. Now they have only 30.7 from second, so not a position to kind of challenge for the title anymore. But the ball is round, as we all know. Nampol and African Stars are still in the gunning positions there in 4th and 5th. Look at Nampol, they still haven't drawn a game. They either win or they either lose. At the end of the table, at the bottom of the table, we are still waiting for Desert Foxes to get a win. I'm sure the entire campaign, the league directors, myself included, will celebrate when Desert Foxes win a game. Remember, they are the youngest team in this campaign. The average age is about 17 years old. So absolutely brilliant. They have done well. And Nast and Jolinho are touching the brim of the red zone. They need to get results to kind of get out of that situation. But we'll see how it goes until the end of the season. Now, here are the fixtures of the upcoming games this weekend. So we will announce the games that we will be screening live on Mass TV. Reminder, go to Mass TV on Instagram, Facebook to see our call out for a new co-host, 2 co-hosts, in fact. So please, if you want to talk about women's football in Namibia, shout out or contact us at Mass TV. Now, we also going to have in our next show Team of the Month, Coach of the Month, and Player of the Month. I think you already know who Player of the Month is. I'm not going to say it right now, but we will have all of those good announcements in our next show. So we're also going to give you something to say goodbye with. These are a compilation of all the goals that were scored on the weekend. Let us know which goal is your favorite. And that is all from me, Emmanuel Inkara, for this week's episode of the FNB Women's Super League Highlight Show. We'll see you next week.